many of us in the room have served on operations in Iraq, Afghanistan, elsewhere, and of course, maybe we've considered this question as how we may be able to operationalise, if that's a word, social media, and use it to our benefits in terms of targeting or reaching our adversary and host nations. Thank you.
Right, you gave away all my presentation already in the introductions. But since we're doing social media, I'd like to take a picture with everyone. Is that's okay? Yeah? Now put on your best smile or your best pose. This is going to go out live to everyone. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Very good. Okay, so have I got a clicker here? That's it. All right, very good. So, beginning, this is my second time actually here at SMI. First time I was invited a few months ago to speak on how sovereignty in outer space is changing. One of my main things I speak about is how technology has changed many aspects of our world. Social media and defense being one of them, and sovereignty in outer space being another one. So the organization I run is the Pangaea Wire Group, and we deal with people in the military, in private equity, in private banking, anyone who really needs to understand global trends and political risk. That's our sweet spot. And this presentation is going to be having a little bit of a different tone. We're going to go into how ISIS and other terrorist groups have used social media, giving examples of their tactics and things we can learn from their experiences. And since this is a social media conference, I'd like everyone to take out their phones. We're going to get a little bit technical and interactive now. So everyone to whip out your phone and open up your camera. If you have an iPhone, open up your camera. If you have a normal phone, then hopefully, not normal phone, if you have a Samsung, then it'll work in a different way, but everyone have that up? Okay. Now, I'll go through this in a second. I would like you to you don't take a picture of it, but just put it through and a thing will pop down saying open in LinkedIn, yeah? Huh? Sorry? It's open, yeah? So click it. So that connects you directly to LinkedIn, to my profile. So if you want to add me straight away from there, I'm not going to have a chance to meet everyone, but do a little ad, and we can continue this conversation if you like what you hear here today, to answer your questions fully. And also, if you guys want to add each other on LinkedIn, all in one go, would you like to know how to do that? Yeah? So if you want to open up your Bluetooth, put your Bluetooth on. Everyone put their, this should work for everyone, with Samsung phones and with iPhones. So open up your Bluetooth, stick it on, and go to LinkedIn, go to the app. We're going to do this all together, and we're going to see it work in real time. And then once you're on the LinkedIn app, you're going to have to go to, at the bottom it says network. You're there? And where it says network, there's going to be a small blue circle with like a person with a plus. Can you see it? Click on that. And then click to find nearby. And hopefully this will connect to everyone who's on that in the room. It will pop up on the screen, and you can add everyone in one go. So business cards will be a thing of the past with this new technology. It's been here for a while, but if you want to just go ahead and connect with whoever you feel you haven't done so already, it's a good little innovation that LinkedIn has created. So this is something that you guys can play with. But I use this every time I speak to crowds because it's a new innovation and no one really knows about it. And since we're speaking about social media and defense, it's a good chance for us to do this all together. All right? So back to the talk. As I mentioned, the four things that we focus on typically are globalization, geopolitical risks, societal change, and technology. And given that, from my estimation and the research that we've done, these are the four factors that will completely change or have completely changed the way we see the world and the way the world interacts. With technology being the topic that we'll be speaking on today. And the first thing that we notice with technology and social media is that there's a sense of democratization of it. Meaning the president, as well as your mom, can use it and connect to the same people in the same ways. This has allowed social media to be used not only by general day-to-day citizens, but also in different kinds of groups, i.e. terrorists, migrants, protesters, and more of the same. Which has given great power to this platform to connect, to spread ideas, as we all know, and to be used in really innovative ways. And the defense and military side of business are using this as well to connect with potential recruits, to spread the message of their best choosing, and to really gauge public sentiment. And as we see with social media, there are many trends, but these are the 4 ones that I think we all may know about already, but it's worth going into them a little bit deeper. First, social media has become one of the most powerful tools for output and big data input. Meaning, as we all know, for big data, it's a place where you can really gauge public sentiment. You can also communicate en masse and target your messaging specifically. Social media has also allowed you to gauge the impact of public sentiment as a limit test of your messaging. When someone puts out a tweet, as we saw from the speaker before, people can engage, they can share ideas, and as the defense field, you can really have a sense of how your messages are landing to your specific audiences, something that you couldn't really do before. It would be too expensive, and the metrics that we have now to really understand public sentiment are in such a way which can be used, but not only by us, but other groups also. Social media and internet has broken social barriers and has allowed ideas to spread. This is obvious, and you can see this throughout the world with the geopolitical uncertainties that we face in different parts of the world, and this is only going to grow as time passes. People, although it may not seem like they're more accepting of views, they may not agree with them, but they know that they're out there, and the ability to connect with others that you may not know is no longer taboo. Before, it would maybe be disrespectful or a bit weird to email someone you don't know, but now with these platforms, you put your personality out there. In the defense industry, you put out your personalities as your agencies out there and connect with those who you feel resonate with your message. Taking this now to ISIS, not only we can do this as individuals, as defense contractors, as companies, but groups also can do this at the same time. And surprisingly so, they've been very, very good at spreading their ideology, their methodology, and have really cultivated something that I don't think the defense industry was ready for. And it's almost as if we're playing catch up to this. Specifically going into ISIS, and I think what qualifies me to speak about this is because I've been involved in operations with different, well, the government in the UK in different ways to monitor ISIS and to provide counter-terrorism narratives to the populace. And if you like, you can speak afterwards to see how I did this, and if you want to get some more information from me, I'll be more than happy to share. And ISIS, in the beginning, had been very professional in their outreach to people. Notwithstanding their social media with Twitter and Facebook and other methods, they actually created their own media company, their own media presence. As we see in 2014, targeting Western audiences, providing content in magazine form in different languages, targeting them specifically. And we're going to go through a few of them now, and we're going to see how they've managed to really resonate, the techniques they've used, and how effective they've been. So firstly, we have a publication which is no longer in circulation called Dabik. And for those of you who may know, Dabik is a town in northern Syria, and in one of the hadiths of the Prophet, peace be upon him, he mentions Dabik will be the place where Armageddon starts. And this really resonates with those recruits who believe in these prophecies and who really have allowed it to be corrupted by these ideas in the way that ISIS have portrayed them. And they did use this publication in the past to do so. This publication was mostly for recruiting and to spread their ideologies. They had a strong opposition to sort of the others, as I mentioned, to Jews, Christian, Hindus, Shia Muslims, and also the Muslim Brotherhood, which is very interesting. We have also Constantine. This is a Turkish publication targeted towards the Turkish audience, providing rhetoric against Erdogan, the PKK, and other groups also. Also, the name reflects the old Ottoman name for present-day Istanbul, which again, in Muslim sort of in hadiths and in different Muslim material, mentions this is going to be a key fighting point when the end of days come. And they really target this towards that demographic, again, relaying their message to a higher source, not something that they come out themselves, but something that they relate to from a source which is seen as an authority figure to them. The other one we have Dar al-Islam, which has been, I think this is probably the most interesting publication they've probably produced. Again, targeted towards a French audience, The reason why this is important, and I think it's very, very smart in the way they did this, is Dar al-Islam in Arabic sort of means the home of Islam, or the abode of Islam, right? It's sort of, in the case of old Islamic jurisprudence, there are three sort of categorizations in old Islamic, law or religious division, which is first is Dar al-Islam, which is any Muslim country which is accepting of the religion, which has Islam as the main dominant religion practiced there. You have Dar al-Harb, which is the house of war, which which mentions countries which do not have a peace accord with Muslim countries. Although this is sort of old historical categorization, is no longer really applicable now, but they hark back to the ideology. And you have also Dar al-Ad, which is the house of truce. So countries who do have a peace pact with Muslim countries. And it's interesting that they call France Dar al-Islam, sort of preempting in their mind what they hope France to be, and cultivating the message to the audience, not it being an enemy, but mostly saying in the future, God willing, we will have a place where France will be an abode of Islam, and we will bring this into action. So which really rouse people's emotions, their imaginations, and their call to actions, which is very, very powerful. We also have the publication, a Russian publication called Istok, which in Russian means the source, which again does the same thing but targets towards a more Russian population. But it's also interesting to notice that these publications are no longer with us. They haven't disappeared off the face of the earth, but they've rebranded to this publication, Rumaya. Now, Rumaya in Arabic means Rome, and again in Hadith mentions that first Constantinople will be taken over, and then Rome in that order. So again, harks back to eschatology, Islamic eschatology of what the end of days will be, and really putting into place what needs to happen for that to come to be.